I'm Dylan Campbell, this is Chasing Cars, and behind me is the updated Nissan Patrol Warrior. This is the same vehicle with the thumping 5.6 litre 298 kilowatt petrol V8 that's tuned by Premcar here in Victoria, Australia. But the big news with this car is it has an updated interior. Nissan and Premcar have done away with the antiquated old infotainment system, a major chink in the Patrol Warrior's armour, and replaced it with a high-tech, smart-looking 10.1-inch display. In this video, we're going to get a refresher of the Nissan Patrol Warrior on road, listen to that snarling V8 and also take it off-road, as well as show you that new infotainment system. Before we get started, make sure to hit subscribe below.
Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car. Brought to you by
You don't just get a new infotainment screen. For the Patrol Warrior, Nissan now also includes a video rear vision mirror, a center cool box, an upgraded no-name 6-speaker audio system, and dual-zone climate for the rear passengers. With the new equipment, including the infotainment display, the price of the Nissan Patrol Warrior has also risen by $3,000. This vehicle is now $104,160 before on-road costs. Nissan might argue that's still substantially cheaper than a Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series. If you ask us, it's a reasonable increase given the improvements made. Okay, welcome to the interior of the updated Nissan Patrol Warrior. And the big news is this new center stack here. Basically, Nissan and Premcar have junked the ancient old infotainment system and come up with an Aussie-made solution, that being this integrated 10.1-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and we now get a wireless phone charging pocket down here as well. The infotainment comes with satellite navigation, a digital radio, and a new higher resolution reversing camera. It also supports HEMA off-road maps. Certainly modernises the interior a great deal, even if there are still some touches from last decade, such as the analog dials in the middle here. Some of the fonts and this giant shifter and other bits and pieces do feel decidedly old. Of course, there's a new generation Nissan Patrol coming in the next few years. On the whole though, this is a very comfortable place to be. These seats are nice and soft, and we've got additional touches like the Warrior up here in Alcantara, and on the whole, it's just a very nice, comfortable place to be. Under the bonnet, there's nothing new, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're referring to the thumping 5.6 litre naturally aspirated V8. This engine produces 298 kilowatts at 5,800 RPM and 560 Newton meters at 4,000 RPM. That doesn't sound half bad until you consider the Patrol Warrior weighs nearly 3 tons. In the middle, there's a 7-speed automatic transmission, and of course, there's all-wheel drive with low-range capability. The Patrol Warrior is also fitted with a limited-slip rear diff. One criticism we'd have for the Patrol Warrior is its fuel consumption. Expect around 14 litres per 100 kilometres driving sedately, and also expect to get a rude shock when you go to fill up the 140-litre fuel tank. The Warrior takes 95 RON premium unleaded petrol. Okay, the first thing you notice getting into the Nissan Patrol Warrior is that this is a large vehicle. It's very big. You sit super high. It almost feels like you're in a tennis umpire chair. You're sitting so high. It's enormously wide. And of course, there is that V8. It's there when you start it up with a bit of rumble, and it's there when you're driving along. It's omnipresent, you could say, in the best possible way. And this would be a totally different driving experience and a totally different car with a different soul and character with anything but this V8, which is an absolute joy of the Nissan Patrol Warrior. This vehicle has a bi-modal exhaust, and it uses a computer to look at things like your throttle position, load, and vehicle speed to determine whether to open the exhaust valve or not. But you can slot the car into manual mode, and that gives you a totally open exhaust, and it sounds absolutely glorious. The noise of this car actually brings to mind HSVs and FPVs of yesteryear. And the way the engine makes its power and torque is very similar to V8 Commodores of old. It doesn't have anywhere near as much torque as a twin turbo car, or of course something with electrification, but it has just that nice little bit of crisp muscle in the mid-range, pulling strongly all the way to its red line, which is about 6,000 RPM. And that V8 engine is a real highlight of the Nissan Patrol Warrior. If you're into driving and you don't even really care that much about off-roading, you'd buy this vehicle just to hear that V8 snarl. Premcar has done a very good job with the suspension. The ride quality is pretty good for a vehicle of this size. Certainly driving around in the urban environment, you'd be pretty happy with the comfort levels. Sounds so good. Love the cheekiness of there being a side exit exhaust as well. Just delightfully cheeky. Now, we got to take the Nissan Patrol Warrior off-road as well, and it was very, very impressive. Nothing seemed to perturb it, whether that was like a deep, muddy hole or a rocky climb. It was very, very capable off-road, and I would have no hesitation taking this vehicle to the most extreme places in Australia. It's very, very good off-road. And there's something rally car-ish about this giant vehicle. It kind of floats along on a rutted dirt road like this in a really fun and confidence-inspiring way. Then of course you've got the V8 engine giving you plenty of grunt and that amazing sound. And I love how crisply it rev matches on the down changes as well. Certainly makes it a huge amount of fun. That sounds so good. And I have to stress the point, the V8 is the heart and soul of the Nissan Patrol Warrior. If it had a V6 or a turbo inline 4 or even an electric motor and battery, it would have significantly less appeal. That V8 is just so addictive and so fun. I don't think we get anywhere near the fuel economy numbers of the Nissan Patrol Warrior simply because it's too hard to resist slotting it into manual mode and enjoying the V8 snarl in the upper revs. It's just not a car that you drive slowly easily. It's a surprisingly easy vehicle to drive as well. The steering is very light and the brake pedal and the accelerator are just nice and easy to use. These seats are nice and comfy and soft and plush. I can easily see myself driving this around in the daily grind, trying not to look at how quickly it's emptying its humongous fuel tank and wincing when filling it up at the petrol bowser. But, you know, it's worth it. The juice would be worth the squeeze for sure. In terms of a verdict for driving this vehicle, there's no getting away from the fact that it's absolutely enormous and a lot more car than a lot of people would need. But if you're after something with a bit of V8 noise that reminds you of Falcons and Commodores of yesteryear with proper off-roading ability, you can't really look past something like this. So there you have it, a first drive of the updated Nissan Patrol Warrior. Still a little bit of an old car inside, and there is an updated Nissan Patrol coming in the next couple of years. But that 10.1-inch infotainment system has gone a long way to making this car feel much more modern. And it still has a lot of appeal with that old school 5.6 litre V8, which is the beating heart and soul of the Nissan Patrol Warrior. With anything like a V6 or a turbocharged inline 4, this would be a completely different car. So there you go, that's my opinion on the updated Nissan Patrol Warrior. Let me know yours in the comments below. And while you're there, hit subscribe and that notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.